Hey guys, Akuma Matata here, talking about RPG Chained Echoes. JRPGs have been a powerhouse in the industry for ages, with many big name games like Tales of Arise and the much anticipated Final Fantasy XVI. However, a massive wave of nostalgic style turn-based games has taken us back to that golden era of classic JRPGs. And the newest kid on the block, coming from a solo dev nonetheless, is Chained Echoes. We're able to provide a Chained Echoes reviews of the game thanks to Deck13. As you know, spoiler warning. So first, the game starts out with a jump, putting you straight into the middle of the action. You start off as Glenn, an ace pilot for a mercenary group known as the Band of the Iron Bull. Sent on a suicide mission out of pride, the group has one task: to attack the coast of a stronghold and break an orb powering their cannons. By crippling their defense, the other ships and soldiers will be able to storm the castle and take it. However, due to false information, the orb turns out to be something else entirely. Upon its destruction, it creates a magical explosion, destroying an entire region and leaving thousands dead. A year later, the warring countries entered into a peace treaty after 150 years, ushering in a new era of peace, or so it would seem. Many within the kingdoms do not wish for peace and want a new war to continue. After an assassination plot is revealed by two of the city guards, the Princess of Tarnia and her assistant, Rob, they meet with the ragtag group to try and prevent a new war. Glenn, having survived the tragedy a year prior along with his fellow Iron Bull, Killian, I think that's how you pronounce his name, who are also then joined by Sir Victor and a humanoid of ancient age, and Sienna, a thief and con artist known as the Red Succubus. They follow a journey exploring the horrors of war and how it affects not just the kingdoms, but the people that within. The game really dives into its mature rating with many dark themes, plus there's a few other reasons why it's mature, but I'll leave that up to you to play the game. The game tells a genuinely fantastic story with its ability to jump between multiple groups of protagonists throughout. Not shying away from the subject only lends to make this game shine among its many contemporaries. So as far as visuals go, it really leans into the nostalgic factor with 16-bit era pixelation aesthetic. This only further pushes the game's style and visuals as the effects from the background art and attacks really take you back to a simpler time. But it doesn't mean that the game lacks style. The design of the sky armors alone is simply magnificent, leaning into their very mecha style inspiration. To the look of many, the monsters, one that stands out is a demon you fight early on that attacks a castle. It has its old school Final Fantasy VI monster level detail, but with an extra grotesque factor mixed in. Everything in the game is simply so well done that it's hard to find any fault with it. The character designs themselves are special and very individualistic. Sorry, stumbling. Matching their personalities. To the look of the world, the mix of both fantasy and technology is simply spectacular. Not to mention that the visuals for each of the party's ultimate moves are both awesome and powerful, and some of them can be a little out there, such as Killian's. Again, sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name, but love his special attack. He basically stabs a sword into the ground and then it raises up. I love it. So, when it comes to the sound, it can be a large impact on one's experience. However, Chained Echo doesn't disappoint at all. From combat to the background music, everything has a spectacular feel to it. But more than that, it's filled with epic moments and jokes. One particular moment that comes to mind was when enjoying the festival, there was a moment where you can bet on a turtle race. And the music is all calm and cheerful, but as soon as the race starts, it was an entirely different feeling. Seeing these turtles charge up for their race to heavy metal, but moving at an expected turtle's pace was hilarious. All the sounds in the game give off an air of whimsicalness, yet never forgetting the pain, the horrors, and the dangers of war and the land. Not to mention that in combat, the sounds of the fighting have a feel of impact and weightiness. Along with this is the fact that many of the attacks have a unique sound that help make each spell and ability feel special. As far as the gameplay goes, this is where Chained Echo really shines. While using a lot of the mechanics of classic JRPGs from established series like Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest, it does a lot to make itself stand out on its own. First, the things that we know. The game is an obvious turn-based JRPG, and if you've ever played one before, this will feel natural. From the items you use to your standard attack and defense, Chained Echo really loves its nostalgia. But some of the things it takes into account for are some of its elements from other franchises, like the turn order. You can see who's coming up next in the turn order, similar to the turn order displayed in Final Fantasy X. This helps you to gauge who's coming up and what skills you want to use, or if you will need to possibly prep for defense. And again, as far as skills go, healing, that was something that I found myself doing quite a bit at when I was taking on bosses that were higher levels than me, but I was being stubborn. Now, onto the grind. Some things that are done differently are the leveling up. Chained Echoes abandons the typical level up system, instead opting for a different style. Instead of leveling from experience like how we're used to, we get from killing monsters over and over, you instead get items from certain boss battles or events such when you unlock the I can't remember. Oh, bounty board. I'm so sorry. The bounty board. This grants you things called Grimoire Shards. These shards act like your level up, allowing you to unlock new skills, passive, and stat boosts. So again, instead of leveling up in the traditional way and, I got plus 5 HP, you actually need Grimoire Shards to unlock these stats. As well as you do still gain, however, skill points. Similar to job points in Octopath Traveler, you level up your skills with these points. However, all equipped skills currently also gain skill points through combat, allowing you to master skills over time or faster by dumping all your points into them. However, something that I found is I want to wait until they get cheaper, right? Like in the teens maybe, because some of these skills can literally cost you to level up one time like 200 SP, right, skill points. So I find just using these in combat and waiting till it gets a little bit lower, and it also allows me to level up several of these skills at once when I dump all my skill points into them. So this definitely sets up a different level of grind, as it's not the typical grind that we're used to. But this allows for a more direct path of how you want to build your character, and classes are not a thing that's unlocked immediately. Instead, you'll find statues throughout the world of ancient heroes. You actually have to find sacred water, or again, through the bounty board, once you unlock certain levels in the bounty board as far as chaining these bounties. You can also collect the sacred water from there as well. And then you have to pray at these statues. This is how you unlock your classes with the special emblems such as Cleric and Warrior. This is how you can earn new skills that when maxed can be used by party members without the emblem. For example, Cleric focuses on healing. Oh, you have a heal all. The more you level this up, and then when you finally max it out, you can put it on another character to learn those skills, and the character who mastered it originally gets to keep it. But as long as it's not mastered, if you take that emblem away from them, that's it. They can't use the skill anymore. Next up is the Sky Armor, which while you use it in the beginning is limited at first. However, after a certain point, you can earn your own permanent Sky Armor, which you can then use to travel anywhere faster than by running. This is in tandem with your airship, which adds new ways to travel, while also adding another combat method and adds another level of complexity to the game. Last, the key point that helps to set the Chained Echoes apart is its overdrive system. What the system does is that after a set number of actions in combat, your party gets into the groove called overdrive. During this time, your party deals more damage while taking less damage. However, every action you take can keep increasing the bar until you overheat, acting as the opposite, where you deal less damage and take more. But during overdrive, you will see a symbol for certain types of ability, or also if you're not looking for the symbol, if you look at your skills, it actually changed colors to, I believe it's a yellow color, and it lets you know. When looking at this, if you use these abilities, it actually lower your bar, allowing you to maintain overdrive by the careful balance of using certain skills. You can also lower it by defending or swapping out party members mid-combat. Speaking of swapping, each party member will have an assigned party member acting like a tag partner. Don't get it misunderstood, however, you can choose who you want to tag team with. So for example, you can have Glenn and Victor tag team, and then later on have Sienna tag team along with Glenn or Victor, etc. So you get to kind of pick and choose depending again on your playstyle and what you kind of how you want to be switching out these characters. You're effectively able to have 8 party members at any time. So allow this again, switching out during combat freely. Also, they come ready. I know in some games you switch out your party member and that uses your turn. It does not work like that for this game. You can switch out your party member and they are ready to go automatically. So this allows for more skill usage. It also allows for freedom of play styles, also allowing a level of strategy and death not seen. You can use this to help protect your party members that may be staggered, paralyzed, close to death, until you can heal them. You can switch them out with another teammate. Keep your team from dying, essentially, right? So, overall, my time with Chained Echoes was an absolute blast. Never has a game truly captured that old school look and feel while also embracing something new and different the way this game does. It has the right level of nostalgia to make you think of the classics while utilizing mechanics that are now seen in more modern takes. If this is the scope of what a solo dev can do, I hope we see more like this from them going forward. But whatever the next steps are, Chained Echoes is an absolute must play for any fans of the subgenre as well as those looking to dip their toes into it as well. I hope you enjoyed my Chained Echoes review, and I want to again thank Deck13 for providing a code for the game. Will you be checking out the game, or have you already played it? Let us know about it down below, and if you haven't seen our most recent review, you can go to the site at level1gaming.com and check it out. Signing out for Level 1 Gaming.